Hi, Daddy. Do you see me well?
Yes, I do.
So I'm Jana. I'm Eurovision commentator from Russia as well, and a big Euro fan. And we are representing here a big family of Russian fans of your song, being honest. Last year's and this year's as well, I was completely sure that you're gonna win.
All
So
right.
I think it's not under me like that. What are your feelings about last year's situation?
It would have been fun to take last year's song to Eurovision, but it got way more attention than I ever thought it would, even if it would have gone through to the competition. So, like, for the sake of the song, I'm not too sad about it for my sake, but the biggest disappointment is just not being able to go and experience Eurovision. Most of the contestants from Iceland I know personally because it's a small country and like it's a small music scene. So I've talked to a lot of them and they all say the same thing, that to be in Eurovision is such a experience and unlike anything else, that I was just really excited to do that with Gagnamagni. So that was my biggest disappointment.
But it's going to happen this year.
Yes, it is.
You've mentioned that you had a conversation with another participants from Iceland. Who's your favorite?
I think my favorite Icelandic entry is either Jóns's Heaven, except for maybe Jóhanna Guðrún and Selma, when they both in separate years led it in second place. I feel like it's kind of cheating to say those, because that was just such a big thing in Iceland that we were in second place. But except for that, it's Silvia Knight with Congratulations or Jónsi with Heaven. There was a lot of attention, and I think a lot of people didn't quite understand what she was trying to do.
Being honest, you didn't seem like a person who really, very much into Eurovision. So you and competition, it doesn't seem to match.
To be honest, in 2017, I sent in a song and I wasn't gonna perform it myself, and I kind of sent it just like to see it because I thought it was funny, and I was definitely not going to do it myself because I had this stigma against Eurovision. But then when we actually competed and landed in second place in Iceland, I have a very newfound respect for the competition, and I think it's kind of its own thing. It's a huge opportunity, of course, to share your music, but also to have not only the audience, but also the people that are working with you. Like now, we can have 3 minutes to do basically whatever we want on stage. Like we can ask for things that I could never ask for in my own performances, because it's just 3 minutes. We have this huge stage, so many professionals working on it. Yeah, it's a place where you can do something that you can't otherwise, unless you're like Beyonce or something.
What do you think about the big stage and the competition you will be facing? So do you want to compete, or you just want to perform and show your art to everybody in Europe?
I mean, it is a competition, so we want to at least go to the final. That's like the main goal, is to actually get to the Saturday night where Icelanders can have a good Eurovision party. Other than that, we just want to make the best performance that we can. And I really hope that we go to Rotterdam, because the song is written for that stage. Like the performance we already showed in Iceland is like way different for what we have planned for Rotterdam, because we don't have the Rotterdam stage in Iceland.
So you mentioned that you do another performance, so you prepare something specific, special probably, to Rotterdam stage. What it's going to be, if it's not a secret?
It's a secret.
So you're not going to tell us, no?
It's going to be new instruments, and it's a totally new performance. The only thing that's the same is going to be the dance from the chorus, and everything else is different.
How does it keep getting better? Every day I'll find some new way through the time we spend together.
Talking about your band, it's your family actually and your friends.
Yeah.
What about work-life balance in your life at the moment?
It's pretty much just work at this point. Like I'm making with my wife right now the instruments because we're doing our live on tape on Monday, so we're having to finish those. And on Wednesday, I want to have the music video finished, and I have to do some music for that. And then I have to, by the end of the week, do some music for the video game. And there's mostly just work at this point.
So who's the decision maker? Is it you or is it your wife?
I mean, in the end, it's usually I have the last word, but
are you sure?
No, not really though. Of course, it's my song, but at least especially with this, like I see her opinion just as much as mine. Really, like she's been such a big part of my whole process for such a long time that I don't really do anything without running it through her first. If she disagrees with what I'm doing, then that usually changes my mind. Sometimes it doesn't, and then I go with what I feel. But yeah, I often trust her opinion more than I trust my own.
Let's just check if she's at home right now. You can speak completely open.
She's great.
I'm just not very good in Icelandic pronunciation. Would you please correct me if I'm wrong? Your wife's name is Árni Fjóla, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Árni Fjóla.
But Icelandic was always hard. Only name I was good at, it was Björk Gudmundsdóttir.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's it. Now everybody knows Daði Freyr, and it's very hard to pronounce Gagna Magni. Nobody understands how to do that. But
you were pretty close.
I will be probably a tutor in the commentators community when we will hopefully meet at the end of May.
Yes, please.
Talking about Árni Fjóla, is she excited about being on stage, or you have to support each other and cheer each other up before big performances?
Gagna Magni is a pretty good group to have in this, also because like Hulda, the backup singer with the blue hair, is the only one that's in a band and is used to performing live on stage, and then me, and then the other 4 people like don't perform like that at all, only in Eurovision. So like there's a really specific vibe that comes from that, because obviously they're super excited, but also it's weird because they're not used to it at all. So yeah, we're taking care of each other, I think.
10 years, it's about your relationships. It's so intimate to share your story with people. So what was your message inside this song?
Just write about what I'm feeling at the moment and what I'm thinking, and there's not, I guess, too much of a bigger picture. It's just thought it would be nice to write about this and be honest about, like, to have a positive vibe and be honest.
It's a good example for people all over the world. So your couple is together for such a long time. So is it also a sense of humor how you can keep your relationship for such a long time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun relationship. If I was bored, or if I was boring, or if she was boring, I don't think we would be together anymore. Think About Things was written about her, like our little girl.
And how old is she now?
She's almost 2.
Ooh, such a nice age. What about Aurora when you will come to Rotterdam? So will you take her with you, or you will leave her with parents?
Yeah, she's going to be with her grandparents here.
Nice decision.
There was no question. She's not going to come to Rotterdam. We're mostly going to be inside, or like the hotel, I guess, or working anyways. So it wouldn't be good for anybody.
Is it her on the background?
Yeah.
And is it really so big in Iceland? So people I'm talking to, my colleagues, they say that this is a kind of a, let's say, national idea. So it's a kind of new year. It's like a calendar.
Yeah, definitely. Like when Eurovision is happening, even if you don't like Eurovision, you're probably going to watch it because everybody is watching it. Like you're going to go to a party, and even if you're not like super invested in it, the TV is going to be on and it's going to have Eurovision on there.
So that means that all we have seen in the Story of the Fire Saga is true.
Yeah, except for the elf part.
That's why, why Iceland was chosen to represent the story. What are your ideas
About
in the Fire Saga? So it could have been each and every country, but for some reasons, the creators decided that it's going to be Iceland. Why?
I think it makes sense because of how few we are and how much attention there is to the contest. Like we are just 350,000 people, and this is an opportunity to like compete on an even playground with the bigger countries. We have the same amount of time as everybody else, and all of that. So I think that's a big part of it. Like when we watch Eurovision, we feel a little bigger, maybe. Kind of surreal to watch it because it comes out the same year as we were supposed to go to Eurovision, and then we don't go. Then I watch it, and they're competing in Söngvakeppnin, which we just won, and they're going to Eurovision that we were supposed to go to, and Uilll Fэрelll has the same hair as me, and like so it was like super weird to watch it, but I really had a good time watching it. Like it's a stupid movie, but I liked it. It's really funny. Also, when the first time I saw like stills from the movie and I saw that he had the same hair as me, I was like, whoa, no, people are gonna compare so much. But then, Yaya Ding Dong was a much bigger part of my life than that. Like that's still, I get a lot of those comments still.
Really?
Yep. People are asking me to play Yaya Ding Dong, and I already did.
Yaya, ding dong, my love for you is going wide and long. Yaya, ding dong, I swell and burst when I see what we big.
I hope that would silence some people, but no, it didn't change anything. But I know that Húsavík, like the town where Fire Saga is supposed to be from, they're setting up a Eurovision museum now, so they're really trying to capitalize. And there's a bar that's called Yaya Ding Dong Bar. They turned their town into a Eurovision town.
Well, that's cool. This is how market works. But yeah. I think that every Eurofan will have the goal to come to Húsavík and to visit this bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Have you had the chance to check who is now on the competition with what kind of songs?
Yeah, I've heard all of the songs at this point.
Mm-hmm. So what are your feelings? What are your favorites? Who impressed you?
My favorite, I think, is the Ukrainian one at this point, except for my own, of course. And I really like the Russian one as well. She's super cool because I didn't get the chance to meet Little Big last time. I'm a huge fan of those guys. So I was a little burnt by the fact that they were not coming back the first time I listened to the Russian entry, but I'm over it now and I can see that it's super cool. I think she has a super cool attitude. It's also like, it's kind of hard to judge, I think, a Eurovision song before you see it on stage because, yeah, the song is a big part of it, but I would say equally big is the staging. Like if you have a awesome song, but your staging is boring, like you're not going to do anything. And
talking about gaming, you've mentioned that you write the soundtrack for a game. Now, is it a secret or you can share the information?
I can share some. Like we are making 2 games actually. Like now Gagnamagnið I've released 3 songs with Gagnamagnið. So we're making one game that's like where you can play around with those songs. Like there's a SingStar thing that we're trying to work in there where you can try to sing and then it'll detect your tune and stuff like that. Then there's another game which is going to come out later, which is 8-bit, like a side-scroller Super Mario type adventure game. And that's going to be, both of those are going to be available for phones.
Wow, I'm a Super Mario generation, so that's why please do something.
Yeah, I'm super excited about both of those. And it's the side-scroller Super Mario type game, we've been working on that for like way before the song was finished. Where you can play as me, or you can play as other members of Gagnamagnið.
There are different audiences that are crossing on your field. So the geeks who are playing games, the Eurovision fans, and they're now brought together and trying to explore the different words. So it's like, whoa, what is
fun.
that?
It's super fun to see the conversations that are happening on my socials now, to see like what type of people are following me, because it's all types.
You mentioned there that you are a fan of Little Big. How did you know about them?
I think me and my friends were talking about that there were so many artists with little in the beginning, like so many rappers, and like we were just going through different artists that started with little. And he was like, "Oh, but do you know Little Big?" And I had no idea, so I thought it was a rapper or something. And then he put on Skibbity, and my mind was blown. It was very much not what I expected. And then I went to watch all their videos, and they're a huge inspiration to how Gagna Magna dances at this point.
So how do you communicate with audience? So there are different types of that, because some artists, they just, they don't see the crowd, they just do their own thing, they're focused on themselves, and they just focus on just to do everything right. But there are another type of artists who is, see the reaction of the people in the audience and inspired by that, and this energy brings them some new power. So what kind of artist are you?
When I play my own shows, like I speak to the audience a lot. My shows are very different after what type of energy the crowd is giving me. But in Eurovision, I think it would be similar, because like we have our like steps. We have to be at this place at this time and look into this camera and all of that. So like it's much more in a box. I think it would definitely give us some more energy, like to hear a crowd like screaming instead of hearing like the squeaking of a camera or something like that. We were planning on at first to have one of those classic Eurovision, like turning around and then like there's a camera there and you can see the crowd behind. But probably not going to do that, because there's probably not going to be a crowd, so it would just be like an empty space. Yeah.
What are your parents and your neighbors think about things like this year, or think about your being a Eurovision entry? So what do they say? We're so proud of you, Daði, or so?
Yeah, definitely. Like they're super excited. My mom and dad already have plane tickets to go to Rotterdam, even though they don't know if they can actually be part of, like they don't know if they can be in the audience, but they already bought the tickets too. So they're going to be in Rotterdam, but they don't know if they're going to be at the show. I have super supportive parents.
I think you're now a big celebrity, let's say so, in Iceland. So when you walk on the street, so it's Reykjavik, Daði is walking on the street. So it's like everybody telling you, Daði, good luck. So how it works?
Yeah, it works like that. I think, probably I just at this point assume that people know who I am in Iceland. Like Eurovision is a big thing here. And this is my third time, kind of, because we tried in 2017.
Third time lucky, they say.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones that are there for the third time. So maybe.
Yeah. But actually, so all of us wish you the best of luck in this year's competition. Let everything come smoothly and as you planned.
I hope so.
The best and favorite Eurovision entry of all times?
It changes a lot. I think Euphoria is a classic one to say, because it just worked on so many levels. One of my favorite songs is Divine by Sebastian Tellier, but I watched his performance a few days ago, and it's not my favorite Eurovision entry, because I don't think there was enough put into the performance, although it's one of my favorite songs. Wigwam, the Norwegian ones.
Just say something good to people. I mean, to Eurovision supporters, to Eurofans who expect Eurovision to happen, who is waiting for your performance as well, to the whole Eurovision family.
Hi, Eurovision family. I think Eurovision is definitely going to happen. I think we're probably going to go to Rotterdam. And if we don't, that's okay. There's still going to be a Eurovision. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I love you guys.
By the way, is there any Icelandic specific, let's say, motto that everybody should say?
Þetta reddast is very classic.
Þetta reddast. Okay. And it means everything's going to be okay, right?
It means, yeah, it'll work itself out, kind of.